Morning students, today we shall study our second chapter, part second of the sound of music. In the first part we see the life of Evelyn Glennie, who became a maestro percussionist, and now the music India is having a great history of music and has produced some of the greatest musicians of all time. As you see these pictures here, we have some of the great musicians of India like Hari Shankar Chaurasia, the flute player, Ustad Zakir Hussain, tabla player, Ustad Amjad Ali Khan and Ustad Bismillah Khan. These are some of the greatest musicians of India who had made great name in the field of music, and also these were awarded by the Indian government. And today we shall study about the life of Ustad Bismillah Khan, Bharat Ratna, and one of the greatest musician of all time. Emperor Aurangzeb banned the playing of music instrument called pungi in the royal residence, for it had a shrill, unpleasant sound. The Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb banned the playing of music instrument, and that instrument was called pungi because its sound was very unpleasant and very shrilly sound. Pungi became the generic name for reeded noise makers, and from then afterwards pungi became a name of noise makers, reeded noise makers. Those were made by a reed, that's a kind of small bamboo. Few had thought that it would one day be revived, and there was no chance of revival. There was no chance of resuscitation of this music. Nobody had thought. Everybody started thinking that this has come to an end. A barber of a family of professional musicians who had access to the royal palace decided to improve the tonal quality of pungi. In the family of barber, professional barber, a barber of a family of professional musicians at that time decided to improve the tonal quality of pungi. He chose a pipe with natural hollow stem that was longer and broader than pungi. A hollow stem was used for that purpose, that was a big, large, longer. Because pungi was very small, but he added a long hollow stem to improve the tonal quality of pungi. When he played on it, closing and opening some of these holes, soft and melodious sounds were produced. After closing and opening some of its hole, a very melodious voice or sound started coming out of this instrument, and this instrument was novel. A new invention was made by this barber in the family of professional musicians. He played the instrument before royalty and everyone was impressed. This new instrument was played in the court of the royal kings, and everybody was impressed, influenced by this new instrument. The instrument, so different from pungi, had to be given a new name. Since this instrument was quite new, a novel, it was an innovation, so a new name has to be given to this new innovation. As the story goes, according to the story, since it was first played in the Shah's chambers and was played by a Nai barber, the instrument was named Shehnai. This new instrument was played in the royal court, Shah's court, and since it was played by a nai, that was why this new instrument was given a new name, Shehnai. So here you see the different pictures of Pungi and Shehnai. This is Pungi with the small hollow stem, and it gives a very shrill, very noisy, very unpleasant kind of sound, since so it was banned by Emperor Aurangzeb. But here you see this a long hollow stem with plenty of holes, and closing and opening some of these holes gives a very pleasant sound. So this is the improved version of Pungi, and it is known as Shehnai. The sound of Shehnai began to be considered auspicious, and for this reason it is still played in the temples and is an indispensable component of any North Indian wedding. Playing of Shehnai was considered very pious, very auspicious, and because of this reason Shehnai was started playing in temples and on the wedding occasions in almost all the North Indian weddings. In the past, Shehnai was part of Naubat, or traditional ensemble of 9 instruments found at royal courts. During the royal courts, there were Naubat, 9 kinds of instruments were played at the royal court at that time, and Shehnai was one of them. Till recently, it was used only in temples and weddings. And of recent, it was used in temples and weddings. The credit of bringing this instrument into the classical stage goes to Ustad Bismillah Khan. And bringing the instrument to the classical stage credit goes to Ustad Bismillah Khan. As a 5-year-old, Bismillah Khan played Gilli Danda near a pond in ancient estate of Dhumron in Bihar. At the age of 5 years, Ustad Bismillah Khan used to play Gilli Danda along with other children in the ancient estate of Dhumron in Bihar. He would regularly go to the nearby Bihariji temple to sing the Bhojpuri Chet, at the end of which he would earn a big laddu weighing 1.25 kilogram. So he used to play Chet Bhojpuri. You used to sing Bhojpuri Chet, and the reward was definitely given to him. A 1.2 kilogram of laddu was given to him by local Maharajas. Yes, at the end of which would earn a big laddu weighing 1.25 kilogram that was given by local Maharaja. This happened 80 years ago, and the little boy has travelled to earn the highest civilian awards in India, the Bharat Ratna. The same boy, Bismillah Khan, who used to sing Bhojpuri Chet at the local court of Maharaja and used to earn a big laddu, and then he has walked a long way. This was the story that happened 80 years ago. The same boy was given the highest civil award of India, that is Bharat Ratna. Born on 21st March 1916, Bismillah belongs to a well-known family of musicians from Bihar. He was born on 21st March 1916, and the family was the very famous, well-known family of musicians in Bihar. His grandfather Rasool Bakhsh Khan was Shehnai Nawaz of Bhojpuri King's Court. Rasool Bakhsh Khan was the Shehnai Nawaz in the Bhojpuri King's Court. His father Paighambar Bakhsh and other paternal ancestors were also great Shehnai players. So all of them were great Shehnai players, and Ustad Bismillah Khan took birth in this family. The young boy took to music early in life, and a very early period of life Bismillah Khan adopted his career in music. At the age of 3, when his mother took him to his maternal uncle's house in Benares, now Varanasi, Bismillah was fascinated watching his uncles practice the Shehnai. Ustad Bismillah Khan was very influenced, very impressed by his maternal uncle who used to practice playing Shehnai. Ali Bakhsh to the Vishnu temple of Benares, where Bakhsh was employed to play Shehnai. His uncle Ali Bakhsh used to play Shehnai at the Vishnu temple of Benares, and Bismillah would sit captivated for hours to end. Ustad Bismillah Khan used to go along with his maternal uncle to Vishnu temple in Benares and watch his maternal uncle playing Shehnai for hours. Slowly he started getting lessons in playing the instrument and would sit practicing throughout the day. And slowly, by and by, he got all the lessons of the music, and he himself started practicing playing Shehnai almost throughout the day. For years to come, the temple of Balaji and Mangala Maiya and the bank of Ganga became the young apprentice's favorite haunts, where he could practice in solitude. Lonely, Ustad Bismillah Khan used to practice playing Shehnai at various places at the bank of river Ganga, near Mangala Maiya's temple and Balaji temple. These were her favorite spots where he used to sit for hours practicing and playing Shehnai. The flowing waters of Ganga inspired him to improvise and invent ragas. He started innovating new rag and improvise near the bank of river Ganga, were earlier considered to be beyond the range of the Shehnai. These were some of the rags which were considered beyond the range of Shehnai, but Ustad Bismillah Khan had the credit to practice these tough rags. At the age of 14, Bismillah accompanied his uncle to Allahabad Music Conference. Just at a young age of 14 years, he accompanied his uncle to Allahabad Music Conference. At the end of recital, Ustad Fayyaz Khan spotted the young boy's back and said, one of the master musician, Ustad Fayyaz Khan, he patted at the back of Ustad Bismillah Khan and said, work hard and you shall make it. You should work hard and you can make a big success in the field of music. With the opening of All India Radio in Lucknow in 1938 came Bismillah's big break. A big success came to the hand of Ustad Bismillah Khan when All India Radio started playing in 1938 in Lucknow. Soon became an often heard Shehnai player on radio, and then started his shows started coming on these radio. When India gained independence on 15th August 1947, Bismillah Khan became the first Indian to greet nation with his Shehnai. On the eve of India's independence on 15th August, Ustad Bismillah Khan was the first Indian to greet the whole nation with his Shehnai, poured his heart out into Rag Kafi from Red Fort to an audience which included Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, who later gave his famous Tryst with Destiny speech from the same platform from where the then Prime Minister of India, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, delivered his world famous speech Tryst with Destiny. From the same platform, Ustad Bismillah Khan greeted the whole independent nation with his Shehnai. Bismillah Khan was given many memorable performances both in India and abroad. Apart from this, Ustad Bismillah Khan has given several famous performances not only in India but in other parts of the world as well. His first trip abroad was to Afghanistan, where King Zahir Shah was so taken in by the maestro that he gifted him a priceless Persian carpets and other souvenirs. The Afghanistan's president King Zahir Shah was so much impressed by the playing music qualities of Ustad Bismillah Khan that he was spellbound and gifted him some very priceless carpets, Persian carpets, and some other souvenirs as well. King of Afghanistan was not only one to be fascinated by Bismillah's music. He was not alone, the lonely person who was impressed by his music. Film director Vijay Bhatt was so impressed after hearing Bismillah's play at a festival that he named a film after the instrument called Goonj Uthi Shehnai. One of the film director of Bollywood, Vijay Bhatt, was very much impressed, was so much impressed that he gave the name of his film as Goonj Uthi Shehnai. Film was hit. This film was very hit and one of Bismillah Khan's compositions. And in this film's one of the Bismillah Khan's composition, Dil Ka Khilona Hai Toot Gaya, turned out to be a nationwide chart buster. This became one of the famous song of the whole nation, Dil Ka Khilona Hai Toot Gaya. Despite this huge success in Surite world, in this film world, apart from his success in this world, as Bismillah Khan's ventures in film music were limited to two. He was not very much successful in films, in the field of films. Vijay Bhatt's Goonj Uthi Shehnai and Vikram Srinivasan's Kannada venture Sanadhi Apanna, these were only two ventures of Ustad Bismillah Khan in the film industry. I just can't come to terms with artificiality and glamour of film world, he says with emphasis. Ustad Bismillah Khan emphasized that the film world seems to be quite artificial. There is no naturality in it and it is run by glamour only. Awards and recognition came thick and fast. Right after this, Ustad Bismillah Khan started getting several awards in plenty. Bismillah Khan became first Indian to be invited to perform at the prestigious Lincoln Center Hall in United States of America. He was the first Indian musician who was given this opportunity to perform at the Lincoln Center Hall in United States. He also took part in world expositions in Montreal. Apart from this, in Montreal, Canada, he also participated in world exposition. In Cannes Art Festival and in Osaka Trade Fair, everywhere in different parts of the world on big platforms, Ustad Bismillah Khan performed. So well known did he became internationally that an auditorium in Tehran was named after him. He rather became an international figure and became so famous that one of the auditorium in Tehran was named after him, Tahar Mausiqi Ustad Bismillah Khan. This was the name of the auditorium in Tehran. National awards like Padam Shri, Padam Bhushan, Padam Vibhushan were conferred on him. Several national awards were famous. Most renowned awards like Padam Shri, Padam Bhushan, Padam Vibhushan were given to him. In 2001, Ustad Bismillah Khan was awarded India's highest civilian award. It was in 2001 that Ustad Bismillah Khan was given the highest civilian award of India, Bharat Ratna. With the coveted award resting on his chest, eyes glittering with rare happiness, he said, the award was in his hand and with glittering eyes, with happiness, Ustad Bismillah Khan said, all I would like to say is, he wants to say only these words: teach your children music. It is Hindustan's richest tradition. That music should be a part of the school curriculum, should teach music because it is the richest tradition of India. Even the West is now coming to learn our music. Even the Western world is now started learning the music of India. In spite of having travelled all over the world, Khan Sahab, as he is fondly called, is exceedingly fond of Benares and Dhumro. He liked very much these two places. He was popularly known as Khan Sahib and was he was fond of Benares and Dhumro, and they remained for him the most wonderful towns of the world. For him, all through his life, these two places remains the most wonderful towns for him. Students of his once wanted to head a Shehnai school in USA. One of his students wanted him to be head of a Shehnai school in USA. And students promised to recreate atmosphere of Benares by replicating the temples there. The students also promised that he will replicate a similar atmosphere of Benares will be made there in USA by building several temples. But Khan Sahib asked him if he would be able to transport river Ganga as well. Khan Sahib asked whether you will be able to bring Ganga to USA. Later he is remembered to have said, and later on he said, that is why whenever I am in a foreign country, I keep yearning to see Hindustan. Whenever I go to any place of the world, my heart desire is always to see India, Hindustan. While in Mumbai, I think of only Benares. Whenever I am in Mumbai, I always think of Benares and Holy Ganga. And while in Benares, I miss unique Matha of Dhumro. And whenever I am in Benares, I always remember or miss the unique Matha of Dhumro. Ustad Bismillah Khan's life is perfect example of rich cultural heritage of India. The life of Ustad Bismillah Khan is a clear testimony of India's rich traditional heritage of music. One that effortlessly accepts that a devout Muslim like him can very naturally play the Shehnai every morning at Kashi Vishwanath temple. And that definitely we have to accept this without any difficulty, that a devout Muslim, a devotee Muslim like him, and regularly every day goes to Kashi Vishwanath temple to play Shehnai. Ustad Bismillah Khan passed away on 21st August 2006 at the age of 90 after prolonged illness. He died on 21st August 2006 at the age of 90, and he was given a state funeral, and Government of India has declared one day of national mourning at the death of Ustad Bismillah Khan. Our first question is, why did Aurangzeb ban playing the pungi? Pungi was a reeded instrument which had a very unpleasant sound. Its sound was rather very shrilly, and because of these things, pungi was banned by Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb. Next question is, how is Shehnai different from pungi? Shehnai is an improved version of pungi. Pungi was made of reed, and Shehnai was made of a long hollow stem and with plenty of holes on it. By opening and closing these holes, a very pleasant sound, a very pleasant music was produced through Shehnai. So it was quite different. Pungi had a very shrill, unpleasant sound, whereas Shehnai was known for very good, pleasant music or sound. Next question is, Where was Shehnai played traditionally? How did Bismillah Khan change this? Shehnai was played at the royal courts at that time, and the first Shehnai was also played at the royal court by a barber, so it was given a name Shehnai, and its playing was considered very auspicious, so it was played in the royal courts and in the traditional North Indian weddings. Ustad Bismillah Khan played Shehnai at the various temples of Banaras. He also invented several ragas to bring under the purview of Shehnai. So giving the credit to Shehnai to making it of international fame goes to Ustad Bismillah Khan only. Our next question is, when and how did Bismillah Khan get his big break? In 1938, when in Lucknow, All India Radio started playing Shehnai or giving the music concerts. This was a big break for Ustad Bismillah Khan, because from then onwards he was quite regularly became a quite regular figure to play Shehnai from All India Radio Lucknow station from 1938 onwards. Next question is, where did Bismillah Khan played Shehnai on 15th August 1947? Why was event historic? India became independent on 15th August 1947, and the whole nation was greeted by none other but Ustad Bismillah Khan. Ustad Bismillah Khan was the only person who played Shehnai from Red Fort, and his audience was none than Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, the then Prime Minister of India. Right after the performance of Ustad Bismillah Khan from the same platform, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru delivered his world famous speech, Tryst with Destiny. So this event was very historic. So our next question is, why did Bismillah Khan refuse to start a Shehnai school in USA? One of his disciple, one of his student, next question is, why did Bismillah Khan refuse to start Shehnai school in the USA? One of his disciple, one of his student wanted him to head a music school in USA, and he also promised that he would replicate the atmosphere of Banaras by building temples, but Ustad Bismillah Khan was not agreed at all. He said, how would you bring river Ganga to USA? So this was clear testimony that Ustad Bismillah Khan had a great liking for India, for Banaras. Ustad Bismillah Khan had great love for India and great liking for Banaras and Dhumro. He did not want to leave India and want to head US, music school in US. Next question is, find the two instances in the text which tells that Bismillah Khan loves India and Banaras. Ustad Bismillah Khan had accepted several times that whenever he is out of the country, he always feels to come back to Hindustan. Whenever he was in different parts of the world, he believed that he should come back to Hindustan. His heart was in Hindustan, in India. And whenever in Mumbai, he always feels that he should go back to Banaras, where he was very fond of river Ganga and the temples in Banaras. So whenever he was in Banaras, he always missed the Matha of Dhumro. So this lifespan of Ustad Bismillah Khan shows that he was a simple person with extraordinary ability and talent.